He's a hustler, unbreakable, a people's person, and a future billionaire. This is The Hustler's Corner with Sbu Liope, well known to you and I as DJ Sbu.
Hello guys, and welcome to The Hustler's Corner. This is another exciting episode, and I believe it's going to be very inspirational because the person I'm sitting with, and by the way, we're recording this on Women's Month. I'm sure you guys are watching this much later, but we're recording this on Women's Month, and this interview is not because of Women's Month, but it's because of what this person means to the country, what she means to young people of the country, not only just young girls, but also how inspirational she is, young as she is, and what she has achieved with her own career. She is a symbol of inspiration. And I just found out she's just released a book, which is totally great, because we're going to talk about the book. South Africa and the world over, welcome Letshego Zulu. How are you doing, ma'am?
I'm good, thank you. Ma'am. I'm very young, but yeah, no, thank you.
Yes, our podcast is pretty much about inspiration.
Okay.
You know, our audiences, they're tuning to this podcast to just find out what a hustler's doing.
Yeah.
You know, I do know that other people don't consider themselves hustlers.
We're all hustlers.
Yes.
I think we're all hustlers in different ways.
That's what I always say.
There's different intensities of hustlerness.
Yeah.
But if you get up every single morning and you go and do something specific to continue keeping the lights on, then
that's
you are
hustling.
a hustler. Yeah.
And tell me about your hustle. What is your hustle?
Oh my gosh, my hustle is made up of so many different things. I know as you mentioned, we're recording this in Women's Month, but
Yeah.
I'm about to add another hustle come the 1st of September.
Oh, okay. It's already been added while you guys
Yes.
are watching, by the way. Congratulations for that one.
Thank you.
Before you even say it.
So what I will be adding, what has been added already, is that I'll be the MD of a media outdoor media company.
Wow.
So billboards and all of that. So that's what I'm adding to
Out-of-home advertising.
Out-of-home advertising.
Yeah. It's
on
a
the
media
road.
space. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Are you nervous? Are you excited?
I'm excited. You know, for me, I'm always up for a challenge. You know, a lot of people that know me know that physically I tend to push myself. I'm always up for whatever physical challenge out there is. I've broken barriers. That's what I do to show people that anything is possible in life. So there's the fitness side of things. Professionally, I studied as a biokineticist, and I ran my own private practice for 5 years until I felt that I wasn't reaching enough people. You know, as a bio, you're only rehabbing one person at a time. You know, you're rehabbing sports injuries or daily injuries, one person at a time. So by the end of the day, you've only touched 9-10 people's lives. And after doing that for 5 years, I felt I wasn't touching enough people, and a lot more people needed, besides being rehabbed with injuries, but just to get off the couch and get moving, So my next, I guess, challenge is to get our country moving.
Yeah.
You know, not many people out there are fitness enthusiasts like myself that wake up on any particular morning and say, okay, what am I doing today? Am I cycling? Am I running? Am I going to the gym? What am I doing? For some people, it's almost a chore, it doesn't come naturally. And that's when I then started another company called Pop-Up Gym.
Okay.
Which it's doing fairly well, it's 3 years down the line. It's not easy being an entrepreneur, but you know what, I'm making it happen.
Yeah. And you've also added another title, author.
You see.
Nice, she's an author.
Yes.
Congratulations on this new baby.
Thank you.
How difficult or how easy was it, or what was the process of you writing this book?
It was a challenging journey at first. I've broken the book into 3 parts. The first part being what happened on Kilimanjaro, which is a story that I never really told in full when I came back, because I wanted to come to terms with the details, the nitty-gritties, of what happened. So I share in great detail. I literally take you on a journey in the first 5 chapters, and those 5 chapters took me about 8 months to write, because I'd write a paragraph and I'd fall apart because of the pain that I experienced, and I'd put it down and come back a week or 2 later. And that's why it took me so long to write those first 5 chapters. And then in the second part, I share the life lessons that have me standing here and being able to talk about that great man with a smile on my face and not tears, and be able to just go out there and conquer and continue living life. And it's not life lessons that none of us don't know of. It's things that we know, but we tend to forget when we are undergoing life's challenges. And that, that second part really is about sharing with people that life will throw curveballs at you all the time, every day, in fact, whether it's people losing their jobs, whether it's people going through divorce, whether it's losing your house, losing a spouse. We are constantly being challenged in life, and the truth is that you can get up, dust yourself off and try again. It's not the end of the world.
I just came out of it. So 2015, I also went through that,
Yeah.
So I know what you're talking about. I can relate.
Yeah.
And losing the material things and home and also your relationship and having to start afresh.
Exactly.
And for us, it wasn't. For us, sometimes it's not easy when you're in the public eye because a lot of things happen publicly.
Yeah.
But I sort of understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Where Nami, with the experiences that I've had over the past few years and how well I've done, because I've even surprised myself. Guys, it's so amazing when your back is against the wall. We actually don't know what we are capable of. Hey.
Yeah, we don't.
We don't.
Yeah. Especially when we are experiencing pain. And the real trick to being able to know your ability to actually get up and go is whatever challenge you're going through, take a step back, step away from it, put it there and assess it, and ask yourself what you want to do. How do you want to overcome that challenge over there? Because often when you're on the inside, it's you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Exactly.
And for me now, I want to take you back to your story.
Yeah.
Like, where are you from? Where were you born? What type of family were you born into? What was your upbringing?
Kingwanyana wa Mafikeng.
Oh, Maptown.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, born in Mafikeng. My dad also passed away when I was very young. Also with him at a young age. I was 2 years old, so very similar to my daughter. But I was raised in a family full of love. I had I spent the first 8 years of my life with my grand Kochaiko Mafikeng. My mom was at Fort Hare University in the Eastern Cape.
Oh wow, okay.
So, after those first few years with my grand, she said, no, I want to, take the driver's seat here. And she took me from home and we moved to the Eastern Cape, and that's where I then continued my schooling. Had a very short stint, 2 years in the US, when mom was then acquiring her master's degree in criminology. And came back home, and I've been pretty much a nomadic child in terms of my childhood. So from Mafikeng to Alice in the Eastern Cape, to Grahamstown for school, boarding school, and then to Pitori for Pretoria Tech. That's where I went.
So
it's now at TUT. But Gauteng has been home for 20 years now. Yeah.
Jeez, that's quite amazing, man.
Yeah. Limpopo as well. A good 2-3 years that I spent there. So been very nomadic, and what I do love about that is it's exposed me to so many different cultures, so many different people, and that's why I'm able to relate to.
Yeah, I was about to ask because I was opened by tennis. I played tennis, and traveling opened me up.
Yeah.
And it's sort of, I think it helped me because I got exposure.
It does.
I wanted to ask, like, what did the move do to you?
Yeah. No,
because other people are like, no, it affected me, but other people are like, yo, it gave me exposure.
Absolutely. For me, it's the nomadicness, the traveling, it's the sport as well. I was a very sporty child. And the other day I sat down and I was like, hey, what sports have I done? And I came up with a list of 15.
You lie.
15.
So what sports did you play?
Sure. I played tennis, squash, netball, basketball, hockey, golf, tried cricket. I did high jump.
Wow.
I did middle distance, 800 and 1.5 at school.
Yeah.
I did cross country. Sure, what else? I feel like I'm leaving a couple out.
Oh yeah.
But I was lucky that my mom was always willing to, buy those tennis shoes and buy those hockey boots and anything to do with education and sport. My mom was always willing to spend money. If it was a new pair of jeans, she'd say, unale pocket money.
You turned out really
Save your
great
pocket money, yeah.
for somebody who had who grew up having lost their father at a young age.
Yeah, mom did well.
Your mom did really
very
well, by the way.
Thank you.
Mudumedisa,
Otla dumela.
Ramudumedisa, if she is watching.
Yes.
I usually put my guests on the spot, which I will at a later stage. But
Okay.
what I want to know is your love for education meeting sports. How did the two intertwine?
Sure. So my love for education, funny enough, only came to me after matric. In primary school, high school, I focused on the sports and the cultural activities. I was that kid that just kind of like slid through school. And then I got to varsity, and then my mind just opened up, you know. I'd first tried sports management as a course, because I've always had this thing about, you know, I've got a love of sport and I've got a love of how the body functions. So after a year of sports management, I said, this is not my thing, because they're teaching you about grass, and when you go to a soccer pitch, the grass must be like this. So then I went to sports science. Did sports science, and during my third year I met a biokineticist. I was limping on campus, and this guy came up to me and said, come, let me rehab your injury. And as he was rehabbing, I want to do this, you know. So I finished my sports science, and then I specialized in biokinetics. So I was in school for a very long time, but that's when my love for education kind of fell through. So it was more sport first, and then education, and I love imparting knowledge on others. You know, when I was training when I was practicing as a biokineticist in my own practice, my clients would come for training for rehab, but it was always one of those sessions where you're imparting knowledge. You know, so
a lot of people will go the traditional journey of graduating and getting employed. I mean, what was the inspiration for you to become a hustler, meaning an entrepreneur who's independent and running their own vision?
Exactly. So my mom actually drove that message to me. I think I must have been in my second year.
Oh wow, you're very lucky.
Yeah, in my second year of sports science, where my mom said to me, "Wait, King Wanaka, you'd make me very happy as your mom if you never ever have to write that letter ya hore I hereby apply for the advertised post." You know, you'd make me very happy. So already from that, you know, when I was still in varsity, I already started having that switch and that mindset of, I actually don't have to be employed by anyone. I did work for APSA head office when I was doing, for 1 year, an internship, because as a biokineticist, before you are qualified to go out there into the world and run your own practice, you have to do a 1 year internship at a corporate. Okay. So after that year, I ran very far.
And a lot of young people say it's difficult to start. How did you start?
You know, seeking opportunities. I think for me, I've always been, you know, someone that's always engaging with people and talking to people about anything and everything, you know. So if you are that person that keeps quiet and keeps in your own little corner and doesn't seek opportunities, then they might land on your lap, they might not. Take chances, talk to people. So when was it? I think it was the year when I was doing my internship at APSA. My running coach had his own practice, you know, where he would test the athletes and so on. And, you know, in conversation with him, I realized he doesn't have anyone that's rehabbing the athletes. So he said to me, come start practicing at my place. I won't charge you any rent at first, because obviously you're trying this thing out. But once you start earning a little bit of kaching, you know, just pay 10% towards keeping the lights on, you know. So he gave me that chance, you know. I wasn't under pressure of, you know, having to find space somewhere and then you must dress this place up. I went into an established business, and I was with him for about 2 years.
I always say that, guys, I understand we're always talking about capital, we're always talking about starting and getting that springboard to start. But I always say, Mina, start where you are with the little that you have to create what you don't.
Even in your garage at home.
Even in your garage, even in your room. Like shout outs to people that are in music, that are producing music in their own rooms, the little that you have. But when you get an opportunity to intern for someone or with a company, be the best that you can be, so that they can recognize your skills and they can actually even recommend you. That can open doors for you.
Exactly.
Don't never take that for granted, guys. You don't always need capital. I always make this example. I say, even with Massive Metro, our radio station, I didn't have money to start that station. But for the people that came to invest, they believed in me. because I did not wait for the money to come. I had already started a radio show, an independent radio show after I got fired at Metro, which started, and then everything else came on board. Am I lying? You just start, right? And then God or the universe just brings people that help you along as you go.
I mean, at some point I was rehabbing people at their homes. I was doing home visits. So you don't have to have your own building, you know, you don't have to invest financially from the get-go. I had a car, I was blessed to, you know, be mobile, and I was doing home visits. Yeah.
What advice would you share financially when it comes to our hustlers out there that are watching? When you do get to start making that money, the mistakes that I made, which a lot of young people make from Kokasi, we fall into the trap of wanting to go flashy and buying cars to try and look good into the public. I've arrived, I'm doing well.
Yeah.
I made those mistakes.
Did you?
What were your experiences, and what can you share with our hustlers out there?
Sure, gosh. So I'm the complete opposite. I'm that, you know, people say you're a village girl or a small town girl, you know, and I was in Grahamstown, which is a small little town, and the flashiness is something that till today I'm not a flashy person, you know. So contain yourself, you know, build yourself. You don't have to put on a show for anyone else, because at the end of the day you're the only person that you have to spend the rest of your life with, if you know what I mean. You don't have to live for other people. You know that social media life where you must show people this and this and that. That's not going to get you anywhere. So look at your pocket, function within your means, which is a big problem in our society, you know. People go and loan money here, loan money there, then you're in debt and you've got a situation and you never actually end up building yourself. So take your time, be content with yourself, be content with where you are. I mean, I look at my study, like I studied for a long time, you know. Firstly, after matric I took a year off. My mom said, stay home, rest your brain. You've been studying.
And your mom is progressive.
Yeah, no, my mom was just like, just rest your brain. You've been studying for 12 years. Give yourself some time. I traveled with her whenever she had meetings all over the country, and it was just a chilled year.
That was also another year of exposure, though.
It was.
Traveling with your mom. Being in situations that you wouldn't necessarily be in.
Yes. And I did a computer course at a college, but I didn't need to be there every day. So I did keep myself busy that year while my friends jumped into first year, you know. And then I did the whole sports management, which I ended up not, you know, I did it for a year, and then I started something. So I studied for a very long time while my friends were completing their studies and starting to work and starting to drive cars and starting to live in their own townhouses and that.
Didn't you fall into that trap where your friends are doing well, you like everyone else is doing well, I'm sort of I'm feeling bad about my situation. Am I because a lot of them, that's how they feel. Like people are getting married, people are graduating. You feel as if your own life is slow. I mean, what would you share as far as your experiences are concerned to make them feel better about their situation wherever they are?
But you know, my thing is we put ourselves under that pressure. Our friends aren't pressurizing us. Yes, you see them driving flashy cars and living in townhouses or building homes, but at the end of the day, you need to build yourself, you know. If you do have friends that are about you know, that are making you uncomfortable, then those people don't love you. Go find other friends. You know, stay in your own lane. Stay in your own lane, which is something that I've always done. Don't be afraid to stay in your own lane. Yeah.
And what is your routine? How do you keep yourself balanced? How do you keep yourself sane? How do you keep yourself inspired? What are some of the things that you do as far as health is concerned, fitness is concerned, balancing of your career, being a mom at the same time, and being a daughter, etc.?
There's a lot. I always say to people, there's 24 hours in a day, you know, but you know, you're always busy, you're always all over the place, but you make time for all of those things. You know, if you schedule, like in my phone, I've got a calendar. And I will schedule my daughter's swimming lessons. And by the way, after this, I need to go pick her up from school and take her to swimming.
I get you.
So you know what I mean? Yeah. I schedule my own training sessions. I schedule meetings as well as I schedule the health meetings with myself. So it's the art of scheduling. You know, you don't have to live a haphazard life. I do get a lot done. Yes, I'm an adventure person. I'm a mom, I'm a businesswoman, I do a lot. I give my time to charity, you know. So yeah, it is possible. It is possible. Just schedule.
And as far as because clearly you strike me as somebody who is on their purpose. You're on your purposeful journey, which I also am.
Yeah.
And that's why we would share all of these things and create this content to inspire audiences out there. And that's the journey that I'm walking.
Yeah.
You do understand that, you know, that's what we're brought on earth to do.
Yeah.
How do you, maybe let me put it this way. How do you, in giving back, I know people call it charity. I just don't like the word charity. It sounds as if you've got some Hollywood.
Give back.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, I mean, what is your passion as far as giving back, and what exactly do you do?
Sure. So my passion has always been the youth, number one. And that comes in different ways. Now that I've got a daughter, it's also early childhood development related things. It's the latest addition to my list of what I give back my time to is kids kicking cancer.
Oh, kids kicking cancer.
Yes.
Why cancer?
So Gugu's dad passed away of cancer. I've got an aunt who passed away of cancer. And it wasn't particularly the cancer side of things, but it was more a kids-related initiative. You know, Gugu and I went and climbed Kilimanjaro for those school girls that can't afford sanitary towels, to help bring, you know, just get people to notice that there's something called sanitary towels, that there are schoolgirls that are struggling to have, you know, to save funds for that. So it's anything that's health related, because that's also health related besides the kids kicking cancer. Yeah.
And I mean, it's beautiful that you share the story and you wrote a book about it. Sometimes I forget that we might be having new audience members or people from all over the world that might not know the story.
Yeah.
Maybe can you give a summary of who is Gugu in the book? Because maybe probably there's some audience members who are like, what are they talking about?
Yeah. Sure. Gugu was the love of my life. We met when I was 16, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Okay, I'll just say my name then.
Yeah, I think I can say.
You want your own name? Cool. Hi, I'm Gugu Zulu.
And I'm Letshego Zulu, and we're
the adventure couple. I'm a racing driver by employment, and also involved in marketing. And yeah, I'm here climbing this wonderful beast of a mountain for caring for girls.
Yeah, and I'm a biokineticist by profession, and the founder of Pop-Up Gym. So I'm in the health and fitness industry.
We came up together with Gugu in the Intim, I remember my first interview with him. I was still a youngster as well. I was new at YFM.
Yeah.
That's like over 15 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, just to see each other rise in the industry has been beautiful.
Yeah.
And it was just quite sad what happened. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, so Gugs and I started dating when I was 16, and we were together for almost 16 years, 15 and a half years to be exact. He was an incredibly amazing person. You got to meet him.
Very inspiring, yeah.
Very inspiring, very humble. You know, very humble, loved people. You know, at the end of the book, by the way, I'll go back to who he is. At the end of the book, I had reached out on social media and asked people to write letters to our daughter about her dad.
Oh, yes.
Just to see the impact that he had on so many people's lives.
Oh, okay,
Beautiful.
I'll be the first to write.
Beautiful.
Yes.
And
oh, did they write it in the book?
No, they did. It's already in the book.
Okay,
it's already
I get
in
you.
the book,
I get
at the
you.
back of the book, yeah. Because I wanted to give her a full picture of who her dad was, you know. He broke barriers in motorsport. Motorsport is known as a white man's sport, and he said, I am going to go in there and conquer, and he did indeed, you know. For those that don't know him, just go onto Google and type the fastest brother in Africa. And I'll tell you, that belongs to Gugu, because only articles about him come up. So that's the simplest way to say to people, go onto Google and type fastest brother in Africa. He was a humanitarian, you know. He was an absolutely amazing, well-rounded, balanced individual. Yeah.
I totally agree with you. And his story has just been inspirational all these years to a lot of people. And it was quite sad to lose Gugu. The whole country was in a shock.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you can oh, thank you, my sister. Take me through that moment. I mean, as sad as it is that I don't want to take you through back there.
No.
But what was going through your mind? I mean, how do you deal with loss, especially, you know, when young as you were?
Yeah. So, you know, we set off to go and climb Kilimanjaro for caring for girls, you know, to obviously raise awareness around the sanitary towel issue. So we're doing it for a good cause. And the reason why we chose that cause is in 2015, I had just had our daughter, and we bumped into Sello Hatang, the CEO of the Nelson Mandela Foundation, at the Westcliff Stairs.
Yeah.
And, you know, he was training for that year's climb up Kili for the same cause. And he told us about the cause, and we immediately said, sure, you know, imagine if our daughter, a few years down the line, we might not be here and she falls into that bracket of girls that can't afford. This is why we want to climb Kilimanjaro. So that's why we were there in 2016. And, you know, unfortunately, on day 4, he didn't really get ill per se. Gugs was he was exhausted, he was tired, which was expected. You know, as you climb to high altitude, your body reacts in different ways. You know, some people, you know, get sick, they throw up, there's diarrhea, there's headaches, there's, you know, just exhaustion. And unfortunately, you know, I think the doctor was stretched in terms of attending to various people within the group. We were quite a big group. We were 42 people, you know, and everyone was presenting with different symptoms. And, you know, his symptoms progressed much quicker and essentially got out of hand. And, you know, on the evening of the 4th night, the emergency was called at about 9 p.m. and we had to descend the mountain, walking down the mountain. It took us 8 hours, you know, and I detail all of that in the book, the first part of the book. And, you know, I don't think there's talking about how does one process and get through losing a loved one. There is no handbook. There's no handbook to doing it. But in summary, for me, I would say it's a mindset. You know, you almost have to make that decision to choose whether you're going to allow grief to freeze you or free you. It's a hard thing. It's painful. It was painful. And, you know, it got to a point where the more I thought about him when he was alive, he was full of life. Gugs grabbed life by the horns and he was always out there hustling. You know, Gugs would hold down 3-4 jobs all at once. You know, he had a 9 to 5, he had racing on the weekend, he was commentating on radio, he was, you know, he was on television, on the TV shows. So I sat there and I thought to myself, but he lived life to the full. I'm still here. His life came to an end. He's handed the baton onto me. I need to now take it and continue moving. So it's a mindset.
It's a mindset, right?
Yeah.
The book is called I Choose to Live, Life After Losing Gugu.
Yes.
All right. Now, what would you like to say to your daughter who's watching us right now? It's literally 10 years from today, 20 years from today, because these videos, time goes by like this.
Absolutely.
You would have forgotten at that time. And,
and then she bumps into it.
We'll send you this video. Actually, we'll send it to you.
Yeah.
We're going to say, Dumelang Lekai.
Yes.
You remember this video.
Yeah.
And then I would like for her to watch this. She's probably 18 now. She's probably 21 or 25. What would you like to say to her future self? You can look at her on the camera, speak to her.
Sweetheart, I'm sure by now I've said this to you so many times that we are all gifted one life and it's up to us what we're going to make of it. Your dad lived an incredibly full life. Even at the age of 38 when he passed away, he lived a life fuller than some 70-year-olds. And what he would want for me, for you, is to go out there and live life to the full.
And then lastly, which is what I always ask my guests to do.
Yeah.
Same thing, but you're speaking to your older self. 10 years from today, 20 years from today, you probably have grandkids at the time. What would you like to say to say a 50-year-old or a 60-year-old Letshego, you can speak to yourself.
To myself. Oh my gosh,
you're going to watch this in 20 years. I'm telling you. You'll see. Because time goes by like this, eh? You can speak to yourself there. Tell her.
Oh my gosh, Letshego, I hope that you have stayed true to yourself. I hope that you have continued to stay in your lane and build yourself while you're lifting others along the way. I hope that you have been kind to yourself and Sure.
She's
This
looking
is
at
hard.
you. She's looking. It's not hard. Some of my guests get emotional. They cry. Look at her. Speak to her.
No.
Yeah. Look at her. Speak to her.
I really hope you still have that big flashy smile on your face. Yeah, I think that's
Say more.
it for
Say
now.
more.
I hope you continue to inspire the nation to continue moving. Remember when you were in your late 20s, you said that one day when you die, you want to skid into heaven and, you know, have everybody there waiting for you, waiting to hear all the stories that, you know, and all the things that you have done on earth. I hope you have continued to thrive and, you know, that you're still full of life. Sure, Sbu? I think that's it for now. Yeah, just I hope you really did stay true to yourself and who you are.
Ladies and gentlemen, Letshego Zulu, mother, entrepreneur, fitness enthusiast, inspiration to a lot of people, and an all-round amazing person. The book is out. Go get yourself a copy. And on this interview, I'm gonna tell her. So, literally 7 days ago, I released an audiobook, my first audiobook.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of the first in South Africa. I put it up on YouTube for free. It's now sitting on almost 50,000 views, and a lot of young people are loving it. When can we expect an audio version of this book?
I was going to ask you after this interview how I go about that, because I'm an audiobooks person myself.
Yes, we'll do that. So consider that done.
Yes.
We'll do that at Massive Metro, so we'll
Thank
help you
you.
get that done.
Thank you.
And congratulations on the book.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you
Thank
very
you for
much,
having
man.
me.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Galebo. Guys, young people are doing great things out there with their lives. Look after yourself. Look. Actually, before we go, the one thing I forgot to ask her about, which is very important when you're a hustler, spirituality.
Yes.
Speak to us about your spiritual journey.
Sure, my spiritual journey, interestingly enough, you know, having lost Gugs, I've become more in touch with spirituality and the spirit world. I actually write about it in the book. You know, I personally believe that, you know, our departed loved ones still live around us, which for me lends to the idea and the reason why I'm still standing here and able to continue living life and not be held back by the pain of losing Gugs. I believe that they all look down on us, and they not down on us but at us, and are continuously protecting us. I struggled initially to go back to church. I'm a Christian, I'm Anglican. I struggled to go back to church initially after losing Gugu, because that was our sanctuary as a couple. I eventually made my way back and have continued on my spiritual journey. You know, I think I have an even better relationship with God after having lost Gugs, and I wake up every day feeling grateful for life. You know, I often say to people, I wake up every morning and I press the reset button, because the pains of yesterday, I left them behind, and I'm starting afresh on a daily basis and opening myself up to what life has to offer.
Oh, that's beautiful and that's incredible. And what would you like to say to younger hustlers out there? There's younger guys, boys and girls. Some of them are even older than us. Some of them are our generation who love this type of content. What would you like to say to them in wrapping things up?
Yeah, you know, Gugs often used to say, dream big. Don't be afraid to dream big, and don't allow anyone else to trample on your dreams. I still have that dream of moving Africa, not just South Africa.
Thank you. Same here. Because we're Africans, guys. This thing of thinking South Africans, we're isolated from the continent, is backwards. It's backwards thinking. We're dumb when we think that way.
Exactly. So even if it takes me 10 years to do so, but I will make it happen. So never doubt yourself. Go out there, conquer your dreams, make it happen, and never give up, because you can.
Young people are doing great things with their lives. The question is, what are you doing with yours? This has been the Hustler's Corner. Thank you very much. We'll catch you again on another episode. Thank you, Kalebo.
Hi everyone, this is Letshego Zulu. I am the author of I Choose to Live, Life After Losing Gugu. It is currently out and available. I have just been hustled by DJ Sbu on the Hustler's Corner.